What's up? We're trying to figure two
Ooh.
platforms out here, guys. So that's why there was the little bit longer intro there. We will figure it out sooner than later.
I forgot I didn't
Night,
put music under that. I need to put some music under it. It's too quiet. I need to put that
right?
under there before the thing. I'll fix that. But yeah,
Yes.
woo, yay,
It was
hey.
very quiet, very quiet. So we got a lot to talk about with this. Just your overall impression, just one sentence. Don't dive too deep yet.
I'll give you one word. Ugh.
Right? It was an oof.
Uh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It was like it was one of those moments you'll kind of remember like where you I don't know where you were because it was like I, I don't know. It was like at least they made it home safely and like
Yeah,
landed the plane, but that was a
yeah.
very turbulent ride. Let's
It
just say
was a
that.
very turbulent ride. I will let that stand there. Yeah, I'm glad that we got the guest. Things we got right. The guest was going to come out for the slow song out of space, so we got that night right for night one. We actually have guests, which we were debating whether they would or not, and we got Grahame Lesh. What a fantastic nod to let him
That was
come out and
great.
sing box and then let him sit in on Playin that was fairly decent. It was the first time I felt that night that they actually got
Yeah.
rolling there.
Yeah, and
You
had a
know?
little bit of like oomph to it and like a little bit of like positive drive. I mean, the
Mhm.
second set was definitely better and had all the highlights, I think you could say for sure. Um obviously the Billy sit-in was money and so yes. But yeah,
All right, let's look at Billy's set. I feel like
yeah.
you
Start
know
there.
I don't have this incredible deep knowledge of his set list and how he builds them, but just from what I know of his songs, he opened up with two of his strongest compositions, which is a great put your
Yeah.
foot forward. Then he did a bunch of little nods to Jerry, Shady Grove, which
Yeah.
Garcia's
Yeah.
version, Pig in a Pen, which is from uh Olden in the Way, and
Mhm.
then the Wind and Rain is I guess the Jerry Garcia almost acoustic, and Thunder Billy wrote with Robert Hunter before he died. So just a fantastic set. I mean, this guy is a class act all around. This guy
Very,
is
very curated set too. That's what I like about it. Like it was very planned and deliberate and intentional. And you get that with bluegrass too, right? Like you're not looking for like jams and like surprise songs and stuff. It's very much done in accordance to something. And that was, yeah, it made a lot of sense and it was really good. And it was a really fun way to open the show. And again, I talked about this the other night. It being so early was such a unique thing to have on for me in the afternoon, late afternoon, early
yeah.
evening, late afternoon. But like, still, it was cool to have that going. I was also watching the Lollapalooza stream at the same time, which was a fun juxtaposition between the two things going on at once. But a lot of good music going on around the country
Mhm.
today. So, yeah, this was a great way to start the show, though. I liked it a lot.
Very fun, very fun. Now, let me ask you. When we spoke about Forest Hills, we talked a little bit about Trey and the vampire set. Do you feel like part of what happened to the first set of Dead and Company is that it was a vampire set because it was so early and they were off their schedule?
I guess we'll see tomorrow if it gets any better in that realm. I was surprised, Kev, at how just right off the bat, like the first song, you're like, okay, like it's got to kick some rust off. Like I understand that, sure. Like of course, I was still kind of expecting, but even that, I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Second song, and then you start thinking like, well, maybe they need a full set to like kick the rust off or like get going or like sound
Mhm.
better. But Bobby was just, I don't know, man. Like from the get, his voice, the guitar,
Mhm. The
Stranger.
guitar, let's start with the guitar. What I mean, at first you could barely hear it. Then it came up in Stranger, and it sounded like if I was playing an electric guitar, not plugged in, sitting in front of a microphone and recording it. It was tinny and
Yeah,
What was going on with that?
I don't know, the sound in general, like it was, yeah, I don't know, and it kept being a nuisance, I guess would be the word throughout the show.
Right.
I don't know.
Just nobody can say to Bobby though, dude, you might want to try that guitar over there with a little less treble, you know.
I mean,
You're out.
I guess not. Yeah, I guess it's come to that, right? Like, I don't know. Oh man. I think the person that had the best night tonight was probably Billy sitting in Hawaii.
Watching.
Like, or not watching and just enjoying an evening, you know.
But as for the song choice, I think Stranger was the perfect song to open with. I know a lot of people were thinking Help on the Way, Slip Franklin's, but Stranger's just Bobby.
No, and I had said maybe Let the Good Times Roll, but you called Stranger last night, so that was a good call. That was definitely, I mean, it's the way it should start, as we said. So that was good, and I'm glad like it got into it. So that was awesome.
All right, then we got, as you've dubbed it, Crawling in the Streets.
I mean, we complain about Fish doing 2 slow songs, and these are 2 fast songs. Like, and even Dead and Co Down, they're still relatively grooving songs that you can still get behind. Tonight was, like I said, first song, yes, slow, go for it, kick the rust off. I get it. Dancing is like a stalwart of Bobby's. Like, you figure, and I mean, you know how I do not like that song so much. So I was not very pleased with it there anyway. But then to hear it in that way, I was like, oh my God. Like, I texted you, I was like, this is, yeah, we're crawling in the streets. This was like slower than slow. And I know it's been a while since we've really heard them. Like, we have listened to Sphere shows and stuff, but those sounded better. Is that
right? Yeah.
Am I crazy to say that? Like, they sounded so much. I mean, I saw them a year ago, and it was
disjointed. They were not hitting it. I think it took them probably until Big River before they really locked in.
Yeah, kind of even got there. But even in the second set, we'll talk about that. Eyes tonight. I mean, when I saw them, I was thinking about that, and I was like, I saw an eye, and it was so much better. Right. So I don't know, but yeah, it just that dancing.
You mentioned Bobby's vocals, and if you look at this set, 5 songs for him in a row, too, to open a 3-day run where he's going to sing 70% of the songs, 80% maybe.
I thought that was very interesting that he sort of dominated the first set completely.
It's the Bob Weir show. It is.
And the way it sounded too, it was like, well, maybe you should like throw in 1 or 2 other songs in the first set of the first night. Like, let him have a little bit of voice, save for at least the second set.
Charlie.
Especially the way it sounded too. Like, again, like the guitar you mentioned, no one could tell him to turn the treble up. No one could be like, hey, maybe we should throw a Mire bone earlier just to kind of like break it up and get the pace going a little bit somewhere in there. Because Tennesse, Jed, what'd you say it was? 14 minutes or what was it?
Half step was 14. Half step was
14 minutes. Yeah. So, and that just because it had the tacked on ending and was still so slow. So like you still didn't, I don't know. It was hard. We're being too nice.
Half step,
yes, you know, Mike.
I've said this before. Half step is just not my cup of meat, really. I think it's the weakest song on Wake of the Flood.
You don't like it.
And generally, but it was interesting. You know, Mire got to step up a little bit. He stretched his legs. You know, had a moment with Chimente.
Did. The first one that you noticed of the night, I think, was there. The way those guys look at each other, it's so special. I tell you, I love it. I love it. I don't have a problem with that song. I always like it. I always like the back half of it too, especially
the slow build. The river.
It's such a nice. Yeah. And then dropping into Big River, it felt like, I mean, you look at it and you're like, okay, this looks like a normal like opening dead set. Fantastic. Like you get a half step into a Big River. Sweet. Like that must have been rocking, and then drop into an Althea to close it. Perfect. But man, by the time you got to that Althea, you were like, okay, John's gonna finally like save the set and like get us moving here. And
well, I don't know if it saved the set, but it at least set up the second set being a saving grace. maybe.
It just felt like though every time there was moments happening that like with Clemente and Mire or Mire trying to take a lead or get in there, and they mentioned this on the Discord, which I cracked up at. But like all of a sudden, Bobby would come in with like the guitar, like clank, 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 and like a nuisance. You're like, Bobby, just take it down, relax. Like, I don't know. I don't know. It seemed he seemed off. Like it just seemed off tonight with him, and I don't know if it was. I don't know. I hate speculating and talking shit, but it seemed weird. Like he just seemed weird and like
the whole thing seemed a little off tonight. Maybe it's just they haven't played
opening
since
night.
The Sphere, right? 60,000 people. They were having guests. Did they rehearse at all? Do you think they workshop Monday?
They
Tuesday,
had to.
Wednesday?
They had to have rehearsed, and they had to. I would think they had to have rehearsed outside too, because I thought that same thing coming out of the Sphere, which was such a different, all-around thing to play, and that's all you've played for 2 years, right? And like at all, so you're really used to doing that, and the monitors being different, everything being different. So I don't know. Maybe that had a little something to do with it, but
right. What'd you think of the big screens that they had during half step? It was prominent. They had like a country kind of thing.
I thought they were underutilized, to be honest with you. That's what I thought. Because like, the Dead's always had cool things, like even when it was just the circle, like the sort of cloth things hanging up there, and stuff, and the weird shapes and stuff. Was like, it was always cool looking shit, and like the lights would bounce off it, or like the graphics, and you have it was always cool. So I thought tonight was kind of underwhelming with that huge, because like you mentioned, you're like, it's almost like they have a mini sphere behind them to like project on. I was like, oh yeah, maybe they'll do huge cool things, and I never really.
And they weren't really shooting it. It was either close-ups or the huge wide shot of everything.
From the crowd or over the trees. Yeah, I agree.
We didn't get a soundboard shot.
Yeah, like a straight on. Yeah, exactly. Totally, Kev. Yeah.
That's what we want, soundboard shots. So we're also broadcasting over on YouTube, and we're also broadcasting over on Volume. I like Volume. You guys should go hang out over on Volume.
You should go hang out on Volume. Mike's grooving. I'm just reading your comment. That's hilarious. Like, not the Parkinson's part, but the fact that he's dressed like him. I can totally see that now. That's funny.
Oh boy, we're going to hell.
No, not the Parkinson's part. No, not the connection, but the top part made me laugh.
Right.
It looked like him.
Member hangs next 2 nights. We had a really good member hang today, which is also over on Volume. We're trying to move everybody over there because there's a lot less. There isn't a mother hen looking over your shoulder, so to speak, telling you what you can and can't do and can and can't.
Copyright infringements.
Yes,
we don't get in trouble for those over there. Yes,
the big CF.
And we announced it in the member hang. We'll do it real quick here. Like, we're gonna bring back Wook Club and include our like tiered membership. People can like join us and like come into the chat and join our little Wook Club circle.
We're gonna bring people on live to talk about Red Rocks on the 19th of the month. We'll talk about that later. All right, let's get into this. We had debated guests or not, and I said, if they do guests, I hope it's out of space and it's the slow song. Because I want Trey to sing Standing on the Moon is where this all stems from. Yeah. But we got that. But even better, one of the coolest things in the world that I just didn't see coming, Grahame Lesh coming out. Grahame Lesh coming out and doing box with Big Brown with his father's bass.
Yes.
Just fantastic. Such a great tribute. And then let him stay on for Playin that had some meat. That was when they started cooking, was Playin.
Yep. Yeah, that was awesome. That was the first moment when you're like, oh, they are going to do fun stuff. Like, it's going to be kind of like that. It'll be more of a celebration than just like a straight run of them playing songs. So that was awesome. And a great tribute to his dad, obviously, and a way to kind of like celebrate that perfectly.
Right.
Even though, and the fact that they're kind of doing their own thing too. Like, it was cool that they sort of
let them meld together.
Join together. Yes, exactly.
Fantastic. We will pontificate a little bit at the end about the next 2 nights and what the guests might do, but nice changeover. The Playin got interesting at the end there, and they made the nice switch. Oteil was back on all of a sudden. Of note, Oteil was playing the new Wolf bass, and
Yep.
it was sounding fantastic.
Love
Just
it. Love it.
love it.
I was
Estimated
hoping we
eyes.
were going to get a reprise. Maybe we'll still get one this weekend. You think we'll get one this weekend at some point?
Oh, maybe the second set Sunday night out of space, a Playin reprise.
Because I thought we'd get it tonight out of space. Like I was hoping that was coming, but it didn't. So yeah, hopefully it comes back because I'm a big reprise fan of that.
Yeah,
so.
he did play the other bass for Playin there. You're right, 97 Ghost. Worst transition of the night. Estimated Eyes is probably my favorite pairing. Like I know it isn't as common as a Scarlet Fire or a China Rider, but I just Estimated Eyes are like peanut butter and jelly. They just go hand in hand. Even with the weird slow tempo, I still feel like Estimated is relevant and Bobby is working with it. I think this was his best vocal performance of the night, and I think that the chinky chunky weird guitar worked in this setting.
Right. It like played to his weaknesses tonight, I guess you could say, more or less, in a good way. So that was nice. I agree. It was his best song of the night. It's like quintessential Bobby song, and you kind of got out of it what you expected to, unlike, like I said in the first set, like Big River and things like that you kind of wanted a little more out of. This one actually provided. So yeah, and then the Drop into Eyes, which is like, those two songs together are perfect. Eyes Anywhere is a favorite of mine, no matter what. So I was very excited, and then you have that moment of like,
right. But Oteil had his chance to shine. Got
his
bass
Mire sounded good. I thought Mire really finally tried to step up more in that song than anything.
Right.
Bobby caught him a couple times, but I think it was overall decent enough and kind of broke down into that Terrapin, which I'm not surprised we got that tonight, but
man,
it was nice. Mire singing it most of it. We knew Bobby was going to do Inspiration, so you can't take that away from him. Cold dead hands.
Let me just say that I don't know if you remember when Leonard Skinner first got back together back in '87, I guess.
Yep.
And when they would do Freebird, they would come out and put a cowboy hat on the microphone and do an instrumental. I think Terrapin should be an instrumental. Because it's egregious the way Bobby sings the word cicada.
Yes. Well, I think it's blasphemous the way he comes in with Inspiration. Like it just does not. And granted, like you're gonna always judge whoever, right? But there's better like people that sing it. Like I'd rather hear Mire honestly just sing it properly and hit it right instead of the way. So that's always bothered me, and I know you're the purist with that too. And just, I mean, it just that's always bugged me. It's such a great song, and then you get that, and you're just kind of, I don't know.
It's the big three for me: Terrapin, Wharf, and Days Between. I think that they're all interrelated and tell this grand epic hero's journey of some sort. Other than that, I really wish they dug into the outer of the Terrapin, where they seem to let it go early.
But it sounded like, I think that was because they couldn't. I don't think they could. I don't think they were together enough to keep finding that. It just sounded like a mess when they tried. Like that was one of those moments I was like, geesh, what is happening here? Like, because it was like the drums and they were going into it, but Bobby, like it was just a mess. And so like it would come in, but then kind of be in a weird space and not fully go into it and then sort of float back out. And then it just sort of was like, okay, well now we just need to go into like get out of this and get out of this whole space and get into drums. So that was like, yeah, it was messy. It was, I know. And I said that earlier, Mike quoted it up there, that I was like, I went in with low expectations. I was very excited about tonight, but I went in with low expectations knowing that it was their first night kind of doing this and everything. But man, I didn't know I needed to be underground tonight. Cause it was like, it was hard to be excited as I was about what was going to happen tonight. And Estimated Eyes Terrapin was a kind of a prime example of that because you got a little bit of it, but it was not the way.
Right.
If this is it, this is not the way you want to remember those 3 songs.
It's entropy. It's falling apart as it goes along. And no, Jason, this is not the Dead. It's not the Grateful Dead. It's not Further. It's not the other ones. I mean, none of them. This is, but I tell you what, drums, fantastic. We got a good beam. It's like the Mickey show for a minute. It's probably one of the highlights every night because it's completely different. It's whatever his mood is. And then the shortest space ever. Did you blink and miss it? I did.
I was wondering what you were going to say about that. I know. It was like, I mean, it was perfect for me. It was like a short vocal jam or no vocal jam. Like I loved it. It's like, it was nice, but it felt like it happened again though later. It felt like that with the encore or like whatever the end was tonight. It felt like the same kind of thing. So
right, I was joking at the member hang, Greg, that the core 4 were fantastic, and then they had Bobby and Mickey with them. I'm sorry, I'm going to hell. Wharf, dude, Billy Strings is just god tier electric guitarist, and he plays acoustic guitar 95% of the time. It's just, I mean, that was just so fantastic. He owns that song. He is that character. He knows that. He's got that I think direct connection, old soul, whatever they call it, but just magnificent. The vocal, the guitar fills, the getting a little heavy metal. You know, there was a little metal action there, and poor Mayor just standing there, just like
the night. Partly because Billy owned that song, but also because he just came in and didn't really want to or need to follow the rules of like Bobby kind of sets, and doesn't let Mayor get out of, and doesn't let Billy was like, fuck that. Like, we're not playing my slow song extra snaily slow tonight, so let's do this. And really kind of just did it his way, which you could tell kind of irritated Bobby. And I think kind of just like left Mayor over there with like an inside smile going on as he was playing, which was
they
just
played it at, they played it at the right tempo. Same with Box and Playin. Box and Playin were played at the normal tempos that they were played.
They're supposed to be. Right, because you had 2 people that don't normally play with them playing those songs and aren't going to slow it down like that for it. So what Billy did was fantastic and needed, and it kind of like gave a little bit of a jolt into that necessary spot right after that short space in there to go off on. So it was perfect. And you could see where he would like kind of walk over and look at Mayor, and Bobby kind of like would step in front of him and like block him and push him back, and then he like kind of turn back. It was funny. And like you mentioned, like playing the little jams in between the lyrics. It was great. It was so much fun. Like that was fun.
Runs. He was like,
the runs were great. It was so fun. So
Billy,
I know Jay Lane totally. They all were. It was so funny because they're like, so either that's not the way we rehearsed it, Billy, or it was like they never rehearsed it, and Billy was just like, this is how it's gonna be. Like, keep up. Kind of again, Mike's grooving. Going back to your Michael J. Fox reference, it's kind of like when Michael J. Fox played for the high school dance in front of his.
You guys weren't ready for that.
Right, and like try to keep up. It was to try to keep up.
Right.
Totally.
Right. Fantastic. Odd choice.
To your point, Mike. Drink.
Odd choice there with the Not Fade Away. It seemed like an afterthought,
Well, see, and this was one of those though too, where I know it's like I hate saying this, but like we were on the Discord talking like, could Bobby have had a stroke in the last week or two and it's just off and they didn't want to announce it and stuff. But this is like one of those moments where it felt like that, where it just sort of like he went in and Not Fade Away or whatever. And everyone's like, oh, I thought we were saving this.
I thought they were going to play Love Light. I thought it was Love Light.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like they were like, oh, I thought we were saving Not Fade Away till Sunday night. And Bobby's mind was just like, oh, we're just playing, you know what I mean? And they just kind of went into it. And it was such a weird Not Fade Away, and it got weirder like the end of it, because usually that's the song that kind of
they thought the crowd was going to go off and it didn't. It was just silence, well,
because I don't think they were playing it so slow you couldn't do the clap to it, like it was off, so like you couldn't like like it was like the old folks home. You're like, all right, instead of doing 3 claps you get 2 and then you got to stop. So it was bad. That's bad.
Mr. Weir, you're off. Your clapping is off, Mr. Weir.
Mr. Weir. Mr. Weir. Sit back down. Please sit back down.
Oh, I like during Wharf Rat knocking Oteil at the stool.
Yeah. Maybe that's just to show Bobby, hey, look, man, it's okay to sit down during the show. If you need to. Remember, Mire played in the chair when he hurt his back or his leg or whatever that was, that tour.
Bobby did. Remember, he fell down on stage?
That's right. That's right.
That one time with Further. All right, the knocking was weird as hell, too. I know a lot of people don't like that song because you associate it with Jerry and dying and, the dying gunfighter thing. I love it. They murderized this.
I love it. And they killed it. And not in a good way. They stopped playing it. It's dead already. And I think that was kind of the way it ended. It ended so weird.
They left 12 minutes on the clock.
They were, Mike, they were all out of sync because they were trying to follow Bobby. That was like the theme of the night. It was just, oh, geez, I don't know. And it was, yeah, that was a mess. And then it was just over. And I think everyone was just kind of like, let it be over. Let it be. Let's get off stage. I don't know, man. That was rough.
It was rough.
That was
all
rough.
right.
That was rough. I don't know. What do you think tomorrow night? Do you think it gets any better, or what do you think we're in store for?
Well, I think it's going to be better.
Okay.
What do you think Sturgill will play? What would you see Sturgill playing?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to go back. I want to go back. I was thinking I'd want to go back and see what all he played with them when they did the Mexico.
Right.
And see what songs he played, because I'm sure it'll be something. But I think it'll
be one of the Mayor ones, like Mr. Charlie. I'd like to see him sing Mr. Charlie, but that's a Mayor. I was thinking New Speedway Boogie.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah, that he would be great on that.
Right. And if it was a slow song, Out of Space, probably. I mean, what do we got? Stella Blue left. It wouldn't be Days Between. Wouldn't be Standing on the Moon. I don't know. I don't know if there is a slow one for him to do. I think he's more a New Speedway to open the second set guy, or Trucking New Speedway or something.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we're getting to Trucking. Bobby's not going to let the weekend go by without a Trucking. So
no.
Cumberland. Oh, Dave. Yeah, Cumberland. Thank you. That was the MVP of summer of 23. I must say. Good call, my man. Good call.
That was a good call. Dave on it.
I would love it. Love it. All right, you take us out and let me know.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, chat. I know it was a little rough tonight. Let's hope everyone sounds better tomorrow and we get back in the groove, because
click the link. Click the link in the description and go at least look at the page over on Volume. Maybe follow us. It's free to just follow, but then we have an all access thing, which is similar to membership here. So
over here.
Anyway.
Exactly. Right on, guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you at the member hang tomorrow at intermission and on the after the show tomorrow night. See ya.
Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating.